Okay. Okay, everyone, we should be recording now. I'm excited that all of you all have expressed interest in the Kentucky 4-H International Ambassadors Program. I want to give a special shout out to Courtney Brock from Lincoln County. Courtney brought this idea to me about a year ago now, and she and Allison Johnson from Scott County are doing a pilot program through EF Tours that they will be going on this summer. They're taking 4-Hers from Scott County, Lincoln County, and a couple of other counties in District 4 as a pilot for this service learning trip. And a huge component of this is service learning and international travel and cultural exchange. And I'm really excited about this, and I really hope that you all are as well. I think this will open many opportunities for our young people from across the state. And I'm also excited that I get to share this with agents, and that agents will get to travel as well. We obviously have the international exchange program, but I think this is taking our opportunities to a new level. I first want to say that this is a 2-year commitment. So when agents sign up for this, they do have to get approval from their district director, and they have to sign on for the 2-year commitment. And I will explain all of that throughout this entire presentation. And if anyone has any questions, please let me know. Courtney, I'm going to ask you to monitor the chat box. And if anyone has any questions that you type in there, Courtney, take note of that so we can answer those. Otherwise, please mute your microphones and we'll get started. So as I mentioned, we are working with EF Tours for this Peru Arts, Culture, and Service in Peru. And a couple of just testimonies about international travel, how it helps open the eyes of young people and tune into the world around them. Exploring new horizons and seeing the world from a different perspective, and experiencing new adventures, and how they will never forget the how wonderful they felt when their plane landed and how much they learned, and allowing students to step out of their comfort zone. Friendships are strengthened and they experience this event together. And that's one major component of this entire program. We are going with the Kentucky 4-H International Ambassadors Program title, and there will be learning components over the 2 years that the young people sign up for, and agents and volunteers will help teach those different lessons. So it won't just be one event, it will be an entire experience over 2 years. This allows young people to develop confidence and independence and feel like they're cultured and create friendships while they're on tour and throughout the process. There aren't enough adjectives to describe the experience. It was amazing, incredible food, sights, and experiences. So what we're going to do today, we are going to cover different parts of what the program will include. It'll include a timeline. It'll include prices. It will also hopefully answer any questions that you may have. So please, like I said, this is your chance to ask any questions as well. So the first thing that I want to go over is, obviously everyone pretty much knows my name, hopefully, but if you don't, my name is Rachel Noble. I started my international experience as a homestay student to Japan in 2001. I stayed with a family, and the young Japanese girl came and stayed with my family as well. And at that point, I did not realize what I had signed myself up for, and it opened my eyes to the entire world, and that's why I'm here today. So I've had the opportunity to travel extensively, and I think international travel is monumental for our young people. And I think that I think Courtney can agree that this is an outstanding experience, and I'm so excited that we have this chance to provide this opportunity for the young people in Kentucky. So there's a list of the countries that I have traveled to. And most recently, I was in Japan and Taiwan, and that was with the state's 4-H International Program. So there are opportunities for our young people to travel abroad, not just through this program, but also the homestay program. And I know many of you have sponsored young people in your community from our exchange program, and we value that and appreciate that. So I'm going to show you all this video, and hopefully you'll be able to see it.
Oh, yeah. Where do I want to go?
Hold on 1 second. Courtney said you can't see it. Can you see it now? Can you see it, Courtney?
I still see the slide, but I don't see anything happening. I see the play button, but.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Here we go. Can you all see this now? Can you see it, Courtney?
I did for just a second. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where do I want to go? Italy, Machu Picchu, Australia, Ireland, Washington, D.C., Monaco, Belgium.
I want to explore the other side of the world. I have no idea what to pack.
I say so often, I'd love to go to these places. But I long for the day that I can actually say, I fell in love with these places.
You don't understand the beauty. We're not gonna go. Nope.
Yeah, there you go, get started. Yeah, here we go now.
So if you have never traveled with EX Tours, it is a really awesome company to work with. They have laid out everything for us, from insurance to pricing to payment to the tour guide, everything. So we're going to go over all of that and all that our Kentucky 4-H International Ambassadors Program has in store for us going to Peru in 2021. And I know that seems like a while away, but this allows our young people to work and to pay in small increments, as well as develop cultural competencies here at home and share their experience here before they travel as well. So what we're looking at for our arts, culture, and service in Peru, we will be traveling between Sunday, March 20th to Sunday, July 4th. We will not have a confirmed solid date time frame of our 9-day tour until March 2021. This is after team conference, before the 4th of July. I've been very clear with them that we can't really stray from these dates just because of how team conferences and as well as the international program. So these are the dates. Sometime in this window of June 20th to the July 4th, 2021, and it will be a 9-day tour. We will confirm the exact departure dates upon closer to the tour date. So these won't change, and I know that this might knock some people out because of camp, but the agents don't have to go. All agents across the state, obviously, there are not enough spots, but if a young person wants to go from a county, they can go. They will just sign up through the 4-H program through the agents who are selected to travel. Our group travel, we will be able to meet other students from around the country if we do not fill our entire group, but our goal is to fill an entire bus. So then we are only traveling with Kentucky 4-H members and 4-H agents. This keeps our tour affordable. If we don't fill a group, then they'll put other groups with us, but it keeps our tour affordable. It'll allow more students to see the world. They'll be able to make lasting friendships, and then it'll allow more tour and departure flexibility, and it'll match with our group. So EF tries really hard to make these opportunities affordable for our young people, and that's our goal. We'll work with EF in whatever way we can to make sure that this is affordable for our young people. Our travel partner, as I mentioned, is EF Educational Tours. They're a world leader in international education. There's 50+ years of experience, 500 schools and offices in 53 countries, including Lima, where we will be traveling to. And then there's guaranteed lowest pricing. And they handle everything for travel. They set our schedule. They work with all of the partners, the nonprofits in Peru. They're translators that will be with us 24/7. So everything from the day that we sign up to the day that we return home is handled tour-wise with EF Tours. And I'm going to stop here. And Courtney has worked with EF. We want to make sure that families and 4-H agents feel confident in signing up. And I'm gonna let Courtney speak just a moment on her experience with working with EF to just ensure that we have done our research and we feel very confident in going with EF tours.
Sure. Has anyone else on the conference call ever traveled with EF as a student or an adult? I'm going to think maybe that's no. So I was lucky. I came to Lincoln County in 2011, but started as a 4-H agent in 2008 in Pike County. And my husband, I married him pretty quickly in 2009, and he taught at Pikeville Independent High School. And I did 4-H clubs there. It was 7th through 12th grade, so I did middle school clubs there, and I actually had a teen club that was a school club with his high school students, and it was all focused on leadership, diversity, and service. And I was really lucky that I got to travel with him. This wasn't through 4-H, it was through his students, but it was kind of all together in some things that we were doing. But he took a group of students. He was a primary leader in 2011, that spring break. We went to Italy with EF for 10 days. And we took around 20 people all together. It was an awesome group. I was super nervous because I was still a fairly new 4-H agent, so I traveled a lot around the state and a little around the country to a few out-of-state places with 4-Hers, but never on an airplane and through airports and with a group that large. And EF was fabulous. And my experience with them has been really awesome. And as a 4-H agent, you guys know how we like to have things organized and together. So I feel like we kind of have a little higher bar than most other people. And EF definitely met that bar. I'm not paid by them, but it sounds like it, but they're awesome. So just a quick story of how just organized, and they're prepared for any situation. So our group flew out of Charleston, West Virginia. If you've ever been there, it's a very small airport. Our group could not fit all on one plane, so we got split up. And we knew from the get-go we would be split up. So my husband stayed with one group. I went with the first group. And of course, I knew it was going to happen months in advance. I was like, you just wait, something's going to happen. So the plane had technical and mechanical errors. And so my group went from Washington, D.C. to Rome, and the other group was still in Charleston, West Virginia. So it was a little bit of panic, but EF was amazing. They worked with my husband and his group and got them on like the last flight out of DC that night. The first day of tour is usually a really relaxed day in case something like that happens. So you don't really miss any of tour. It's kind of like a welcome in, have dinner, chill kind of thing. So as soon as I landed in Rome, we went through baggage claim, and our EF guide was right there and was like, okay, I've talked to Herbie. Everything's fine. They're going to be here at like 8 o'clock tonight. You have a free day. It's all good. So, and they put them through. They actually got to go to Germany and at least hang out at the airport for a while. But EF was great. They solved that problem, got everybody together like it was no big thing. It was a little exciting at first. We were with another group on our tour as well, and they had a medical issue, and the girl, she ended up being fine, but she had an asthma attack, and they took her in and out of the ER in the middle of Rome. It was maybe 45 minutes to get her checked out, and everything was taken care of. And we were just sitting on the bus watching I don't know, some Italian movie that our tour guide had ready for situations like that. So very, very on the ball, organized tour company. I also got to go on a training tour with them this summer because I'm a first-time group leader for mine and Allison's trip this past summer. I got to go on the training tour. And then at the end of May, 1st of June, we'll be traveling to the Dominican Republic. So we got to go on that tour. Allison went to the Dominican Republic as well. Same kind of thing, just organized, on the ball. I was the only non-teacher on the training tour, and they kept talking about how EF service tours are all about learn by doing. And I was in the back of the bus. You guys will appreciate this. Like, oh, hello, that's literally our motto. So I think you guys will really enjoy EF, and I think you will see that their goals and objectives mesh so well with 4-H. It's kind of crazy we haven't partnered together yet. Sorry, I rambled a lot.
That's fine. As you can tell, Courtney is quite passionate about EF. I had the opportunity to travel to Italy and Greece with EF, and I also was amazed at their ability to just take care of all situations, and they made us feel safe. And so I feel confident in their ability to make sure that this experience is positive for us. Talking about safety and some other things, I did send out the risk management plan. This has been approved by Tim West as well as Dr. Maines. It was taken to the district directors last week to be discussed as well, and there weren't any questions, and it was approved. So I do encourage you to read through that risk management plan. Overall, I want to first talk about the objectives of the trip. In that risk management plan, there are the objectives. So it's experience belonging and mastery, independence, strengthen our abilities to make intelligent decisions, problem solve, acquire positive attitudes, develop effective interpersonal relationships, develop a concern for involvement in our community, increase leadership abilities, and develop abilities to perform as a productive, contributing citizen. Specifically for this trip, we want to encourage our young people to become active citizens, global citizens, strengthen leadership and citizenship skills on an international level, understand the importance of civic responsibility, exchange ideas. They're going to have the opportunity to interact with people of the villages of Peru, and that is an opportunity that many people never have the chance. We'll have an opportunity to eat in someone's home. So these first-hand real experiences in another country, they'll get all of that on this trip. So as we're thinking about this, agents will be chaperoning kids from all over the state. So those agents who sign up need to be prepared, need to be comfortable chaperoning kids from all over the state, need to be prepared to handle any emergency at any time. The risk management plan lays out all of our protocol, safe practices. So I encourage you to read through that. As a as a insurance practice, what we will do is, I've already communicated with EF Tours, within our price, we will require everyone to purchase the insurance policy that goes along with EF Tours. So I will purchase the insurance for UK from UK, and then the EF Tours has their insurance as well. So we'll be covered insurance-wise. Additionally, we will have I will purchase a cell phone for any contact, and then on ground we have a 24/7 tour guide who is bilingual, and they will communicate with us in English as well as the people that we interact with on a daily basis. Go through that risk management plan. It discusses everything that you need to understand about the global travel protection plan. It talks about all of the policies. All of our young people and our adults are expected to follow UK policies as well as EF tour policies, and that's included in the packet that I sent out. We will make sure that everyone that's traveling will have like I said, periodic meetings throughout the 2 years, and everyone that's going they're required to attend these meetings, and they'll sign a policy that states that that they are expected to be a full participant in the entire program, not just traveling. I'm going to stop here and ask if anyone has any questions so far.
Is guinea pig on the menu in Peru?
We can request it if we want.
It's a delicacy in Peru.
Okay, so one thing that I do want to cover is this other items. So the Kentucky 4-H International Ambassadors Program specifically, we will have virtual meetings. We'll check in regularly with a team to continue team morale and excitement. We'll have face-to-face meetings with those that we will travel with. We will also, our goal is to increase global awareness among Kentucky 4-H participants. So we will do a series of promotional booths, workshops, and service learning. Like I said, this experience is more than just a trip. It's over a 2-year commitment to serve as a Kentucky 4-H International Ambassador for our youth, and our agents will be the advisors to that group. And there's definitely a perk within this, and I'll cover that in just a little bit. But to cover all of the expectations of our agents specifically, in the packet that I sent out, there is a contract that we ask that you fill out and return to me. And you do have to have your district director's approval or your supervising county manager. Whoever's your supervisor, you have to have their approval. You must understand that you have to recruit at least 7 youth to participate in the Kentucky 4-H International Art, Culture, and Service in Peru program. These youth can be from your county, from your district, from specific other counties, or just overall state. Agents are required to recruit 7 youth, and then they will travel for no cost. So this should not be a cost on you or your county, because we are asking that you recruit 7 youth. Agents must actively recruit and promote the Kentucky 4-H International Homestay Program. So that is for this coming summer 2020, because we will have agents selected within the next month. And so we ask that these agents actively promote the International Homestay Program for 2020 and 2021. So we do want you to be involved in our homestay program that we already have a running relationship with States 4-H. Our agents must have the ability to travel outside of the United States, have a valid passport. Our agents must agree to attend all meetings and obligations of the program and help teach and facilitate lessons. Agents also need to be aware of helping their young people that they sign up for fundraise if needed. I'll show you the cost breakdown in a little bit so you can see what that fundraising goal is. You have to gain approval of your supervisor. Agents must understand that if they are unable to fulfill their obligations, then another 4-H professional will be selected by the coordinators to participate and travel in their place. They must be able to walk long distances, withstand exposure to heat, participate in manual labor, which will be the service project, stand for an extended period of time, travel in airplanes, buses, boats, trains, public transportation. So overall, our agents need to be ready to go at the drop of a hat and be willing to be flexible. Agents must be able to cope with being out of their comfort zone. Traveling in another country can be difficult, especially if you have 30 kids with us. So we need to make sure that our agents are willing to step out of their comfort zone and then feel comfortable supervising youth from Kentucky as a whole, not just your county. That's extremely important for this experience because it is a group experience. It's not just with your county. I'm going to stop here and ask if any agents have any questions about expectations that we have of 4-H agents.
Rachel, I was just running the numbers. When you said a bus, are you thinking about 50?
No, we only have 4 agent spots available, and each agent will recruit 7 youth. So that's how many? 28, 32. How much is that, Elijah? 28. The buses there, obviously, they're not the same as buses here. And so EF Tours tries their best to fill a bus. And so our goal is between 35 and 40 individuals.
It's more of a charter bus, Elijah.
Gotcha.
Small-ish charter bus.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I didn't know if I missed that or not. Thank you.
And in the future, if this is successful, hopefully we'll be able to take more and more kids and help them have the global experience as well. But this is how we're starting, where we're starting, and hopefully we can grow it as the years go on. Okay, what you're seeing on the screen right now is what does the 2-year experience look like. We will begin our recruitment as soon as possible. The sooner our young people sign up, the cheaper the experience is going to be. Sign-ups are handled by each individual agent, and once the agents are selected, we will meet as a group and we will decide how we will go about selecting our young people. We need to make sure our young people are willing to obviously travel. They need to be mature. I'm going to go over the requirements specifically in just a little bit, but we will sign up the kids as soon as possible. We'll start recruitment at 4-H Summit with information and backpacks. We will do a booth at Teen Conference, and then we'll have 4-H agent information sessions. What our agents that are selected are required to do is after Teen Conference, we will require those agents who are selected to host information sessions across the state, and young people and their families can come to those sessions and they can attend, learn more, sign up. If they sign up that day, they get a percentage off of their payment. So that is a great incentive for people to sign up right after those agent information sessions. So that will happen once our agents are selected here in a couple of weeks, all the way until August. And then in September will be our first meeting. We will begin the experience in September with a kickoff meeting. This is required by everyone. We'll promote the educational objectives of the program, begin developing our team culture, and begin sharing information about Peru. In November, we'll do a video conference session, just touching base with the group. After each meeting, this is important to know that we'll assign some, fun homework things that we will decide as a advisory group for them to report back, so that they're understanding the Peruvian culture and what they're experiencing. In January, we'll talk about Peruvian culture, part 1. So this is learning the history of Peru and the Peruvian government. In March of 2020, we will do another video conference to touch base. In April, we'll continue Peruvian culture, learning about history, exploring food, language, and culture. We will discuss 4-H Summit and planning and completing workshops for 4-H Summit. And then in June of 2020, we'll do a team conference. We'll host informational sessions at team conference. In July, there'll be another video conference session, and then we'll ask that our members try to participate in the International Homestay Program. In August, we'll do the International Day at the Kentucky State Fair, and then we'll start the year, the travel year. So we'll go in depth in September 2020, Arts and Education in Peru, exploring some of the arts and culture that we will see when we're there. In January 2021, we'll study economy and agriculture in Peru. Then in March 2021, we'll do those summit sessions. April will be our departure meeting. So this will be the final meeting before we depart. So we'll cover all of the basis of what is going to be required. And then in May, we'll do a video conference to touch base, make sure everyone's on the same page. And then in June 2021, we will do a team right before we travel, we'll do team conference, another booth, because ideally in June 2021, we'll be promoting the next wave of Kentucky 4-H International Ambassadors Program to another country. So that will be in June 2021. And then that following, right after team conference, we will actually travel to Peru. Are there any questions for the timeline, what the 2-year experience looks like?
You're expecting to have all the kids signed up by September, is that right, this year?
Yes. Okay, so requirement for youth to participate. This is open to youth ages 14 to 19 on the first day of travel, June 2021. So we may be signing up 12-year-olds right now, but they'll be 14 by the date of travel. And then we cannot go over 19 based on 4-H requirements and EF tour requirements of payment and youth to adult ratios. So you can recruit 12-year-olds to, I guess it would be 17-year-olds right now. Youth must sign a contract, and this is the actual contract. They'll pay the $100 deposit to EF Tours and sign their contract with EF Tours about the traveling. They will then sign a contract with us. They will commit to attend meetings and participate in the full educational experience in order to travel internationally with us. They do have to purchase the travel insurance through EF Tours, and that will automatically be within their payment. The youth who sign up to participate in the Kentucky 4-H International Ambassadors Peru Service Project agree to attending the kickoff meeting, pre-travel, and at least 3 additional face-to-face meetings throughout the experience. The other things, if they miss, they have to, give a doctor's excuse. There will be additional recruitment events, teaching opportunities, and service opportunities throughout the event. Parents and guardians must attend the kickoff meeting, the state fair meeting, and at least 1 additional face-to-face meeting to ensure that our parents, guardians know what's going on. Youth must follow all Kentucky 4-H rules and policies, complete the code of conduct, and abide by all federal and state laws. They must also abide by all EF Tour rules and regulations, laws, and the laws of the destination country. If the 4-H member fails to meet the expectations, so either payment or programmatic, or if they violate the code of conduct or exhibit behavior that is not suitable for international travel, they may be removed from the program, and the family must work with EF Tours for a reimbursement. This is very important. Kentucky 4-H and the University of Kentucky will not handle any finances for this program. All finances go through EF Tours through their online portal. The 4-H member and family understand that Kentucky 4-H is not liable for payment for the educational opportunity. All payments are handled through EF Tours, and there will be no money exchanged with Kentucky 4-H or the foundation. The 4-H member applying must be enrolled 4-H member in the county where they reside or go to school. If they are not an enrolled 4-H member, then we ask that they become become involved in the local 4-H program as an enrolled member. Are there any questions about the requirement of youth to participate?
with EF handling all the funds, is that a liability shift? Is that how the lawyers are seeing that from UK?
Well, I can't say yes or no. It's just the way that we set it up. It was just the way that it works with EF.
Okay.
Tyrone, EF's really good too about letting you can choose 2 payment options. 3 actually. You can just pay in full if you are that person, or you can do manual payments where the families decide, like they make regular payments as much as they can, or you do an automatic payment plan, and they can set that up to take out weekly payments if like a kid wants to get a part-time job and they are giving their parents money to put in their bank account weekly. So it's just much easier because EF can do all of that, and I don't think UK even has the capability of doing payments like that.
Okay.
It definitely gives us more options to help our kids. Are there any other questions about the requirement of youth? This is an important time for me to stop and say that the only adults approved to travel on this trip right now are 4-H agents and then youth. If we get to a point where we are not filling our spots, we may open it up to other adults, but that is not a guarantee. And so right now it will be 4 agents who are selected, myself and Courtney Brock, who is the co-coordinator for the trip. Many people talk about how this type of experience, as you see on the screen, they agree to go on this to beef up their college resume, but then it gives them so much more than just beefing up their college resume. So let's take a moment and watch a quick video. Sorry.
It's our 3rd day on the work site. We're putting up the beams on the greenhouse so we can put the tarps over the roof. And we're also trying to level up the ground to have a flat surface for them to plant their flowers. Connecting so much with the local community, working alongside the actual people that are going to benefit from the greenhouse and having them shoveling dirt right next to us. It's an energy that is incomparable. Es un intercambio, como quien dice, para nosotros lo tomamos como un intercambio cultural también, ¿no? Los chicos siempre nos dejan algo y nosotros procuramos dejarle algo, alguna enseñanza, alguna palabra, algún gesto, ¿no? Que es propio de nosotros.
It can be hard at times doing service work like this, but just seeing how hard they're working, it really pushes you forward.
Beyond just token contribution, really a powerful contribution that we're making. And to know that we can be part of that in a small way is very rewarding for the students. And maybe some of the choices that they make in the future, they'll have this in the back of their mind.
Sí, bastante. Para mis hijos, hasta mis nietos va a ser todo. ¿Cómo está mi proyecto tonto? Voy a empezarme, voy a plantar cosas y para educar a mis hijos adelante.
Entonces estaremos este año, al otro año, ya estaría más o menos creciendo la luz acá, ¿no? Eso es nuestro futuro y trabajo. Muchas gracias.
So that is an experience that one group had traveling to Peru, and we will have a very similar experience. I think one of the major benefits of traveling with EF is that they do partner with local nonprofits and organizations in the country, the destination country, to identify projects that are long-term sustainable projects that will impact the economy and life of the local people. So I think that is a major benefit of this program, that it is a meaningful service project. It's cultural immersion, and then there's leadership development opportunities as well. And those are things that you can expect and gain as an adult, as well as we can expect those things for our young people. Some of the things that we will do, if you're someone who can unplug from Wi-Fi and even electricity, sometimes that is extremely that will be important. You can handle bugs. If you are down to try new foods, respect local people and culture, love hard work, and give 110%, and enjoy being a part of a team, then this definitely probably is something for you. So our itineraries, I want to go over what we will be seeing while we're there. So these are some of the places that you will see, some of the amazing, beautiful places in Peru: Machu Picchu, the Sacred Valley, Lima, and Cusco. And some of the highlights: you'll tour Machu Picchu, visit the Pisque market, reflect on global citizenship. So every day we will debrief and discuss what our young people have seen that day. They will receive a reflection journal that they're expected to keep throughout the time that they're there. So we can record this experience. We will work side by side with locals. We will visit San Francisco Monastery and participate in a Peruvian ceramics workshop. The people in the video that you saw, the kids were helping build a greenhouse so they could, so the local people could grow their flowers and sustain family income and grow family income. So they try really hard to identify projects that will definitely benefit the local individuals. So a day on tour, in the morning, we typically enjoy a regional style breakfast and immerse ourselves in modern Andean culture as we help build a weaving center for local women. So that could be our project. In the afternoon, take a break for a working lunch, and typically that is with a local family. You could potentially play games with the local kids and interact with some of those kids, take a tour of their village. In the evening, experience dinner and participate in a group discussion to help contextualize the day's event and enjoy an interactive leadership workshop. So every day is full, and there is something planned every single day. And if you look in that risk management plan, you will see a day-by-day travel plan. So you can go ahead and look at that to see if it's something that you want to do. So what's included in this experience? A round trip fare is included in the travel price. Safe, quality hotel rooms. They book with hotels that have a great reputation. We have a 24/7 bilingual tour director. There's on-tour transportation. There'll be educational itinerary, guided tours and activities, meals. Some lunches are provided, and some are like when we go to the village to explore the market, then we will all do lunch on our own. So individual money is important just for those few lunches that are not included. There's 24/7 on-tour assistant. There's a Lima office of EF, so it's right there. There's a traveler support team. All the financing is through EF Tour, so that is a great benefit and perk to us. Our young people can get certified service hours. They'll get a travel backpack and leadership building activities. Some things that will be included: the global travel protection plan. We are including that in the price, so that's extremely important to remember that the price, it'll include that. If our young people want to sign up for college credit, they can sign up for college credit. That is separate, and they pay that separate. Our young people will have to pay for their passport and visa fees, airport baggage fees, spending money, and tips during the travel. So let's make it happen for our young people. Our tour price looks like it's going to be all $3,765. So the sooner they sign up, the cheaper it's going to be. They can pay bi-weekly, as you can see here. They can pay monthly, which will be under $200, or they can pay in full. They will sign up through EF Tours and pay through EF Tours. There are lots of options for them. There's also fundraising options. And the travel insurance, like I said, is required for them to participate based on UK management. So the final cost will be calculated at the time of sign up, but our young people can expect around $3,765 of the trip. This includes so many things, as I mentioned before. And Courtney has a point that she'd like to discuss.
Yes, I know that can be a little bit of a sticker shock, but I know Rachel mentioned the donation page. This is through EF, and it links directly to the individual traveler's account. So it's not like a GoFundMe where they take a percentage off. This is if I want to donate $50 to all my kids. That's my Christmas gift to them or whatever. Then that goes directly to their account. EF doesn't take a percentage off. There's no charge for that at all, which I think is pretty awesome. And it's specific for the kid, and it has this specific tour, and it's a really easy thing for them to share. They don't have to make a page or anything. They just copy and paste a link, and they can post it on social media or wherever and say, hey, help me go to Peru. And then for my trip that we're taking to the Dominican Republic, we did not stretch it out over this long amount of time. We only stretched our payments over 16 or 17 months. So our payments have been around $250 a month, which is substantially more than this. But none of my kids have really struggled with this. We have fundraised quite a bit in our county. But it's really not been crazy. I know none of us like to fundraise, but it's really not been that bad at all. We've done basically one fundraiser every month or so. And there are some kids who, during the holidays, one of my travelers, his uncle donated his payment that month through his donation page. So he was like, I'm not selling Tupperware, which is fine. So he didn't have to. But everyone else, the most any of my kids have had to pay out of pocket in a month has been less than $75 because they've all fundraised really hard. So some kids don't need that, and that's fine, but I don't want anybody to be like, oh my gosh, I can't afford $3,800. I can help you. There are lots of good ideas out there, and it's really pretty manageable for what you're getting.
Like I said, the earlier our young people sign up, the cheaper it will be. Our agents who sign up, like I said, are required to recruit 7 4-Hers to participate, and then our agents will receive their trip for no cost. Agents cannot sign up and then just say, oh, I don't feel like recruiting, I'm just going to pay out of pocket. That's not an option with this. It is a youth-centered event and experience and program, and we want as many youth to participate as possible. That's why we've stretched it out over a 2-year program experience, and that allows for cheaper payments as well. So I'm going to stop here and ask if there are any questions that anyone has. Any questions?
Rachel, I want to make sure I have this straight.
Yeah.
So
Lindsay? Hello?
later.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay, okay. I can't hear you. Can you type it? Maybe? Unless you're on the phone, probably.
Can you hear me now,
Yes, I can hear you now.
Rachel?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. It says unstable internet connection.
Okay.
For the fees, the $3,700, is that the most a kid would pay, or if they sign up later, would it be higher than that?
It could be higher than that if they sign up later. This is based on starting payment in August.
Got it. Thank you.
If someone signs up, let's say as soon as we get 4-H agents approved, then we have a kid sign up. It could be less per month too.
Thank you.
Yes. So there are limited spots available. Applications are in the information that I sent out. They are due back to me by February 28th through email. There are 4 spots available for 4-H agents to participate. If you have questions, please let me know. I think that this is going to be an outstanding experience for everyone involved, adults and kids, and families as well. So if no one else has any questions, that's all I have. I will stay on the line and answer any questions if there are any questions.
If they sign up August, you said that's the price they're looking at.
Yes.
I don't think they can lock in international airfare that far out. If international airfare goes berserk, it could still go up on those kids, right? Or are they guaranteeing that price once they sign?
That's what it's locked in with EF Tours.
Okay.
So the time of sign up. So if you have an agent that signs up and they're willing to travel, they start recruiting. Kids signs up in, let's say, March. They'll go on the website, sign up, sign the contracts, and they can start their payment plan right then.
And whatever price it is when they commit, that price is locked in for that person.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Tyrone, that's why it's so important to get them to sign up quickly. And EF will usually even do they'll even do discounts for early sign up. They really just want you to commit so they know that they fill a tour up. Because like the night that I did my promotional events in my county, if they signed up by midnight the next day, they got an extra $100 off the whatever like that base price was. So the quicker the better.
And we'll be doing that too with this. Once agents get signed up to travel, then they will host those informational sessions, and kids who sign up will get that percentage off with EF Tours as well. And then also with this travel insurance that we're requiring everyone to purchase, there's ability to, if someone gets sick or something and they can't travel, there's a certain percentage that they will get back. So all of that is detailed in the contract that they sign with EF Tours.
No visa requirement for Peru, is there?
No, I don't. I was told no. So unless something changes.
Okay. Well, the thing said they were responsible for passport and visa fees.
That's just a standard.
Okay.
If there are any.
They will get to go to Machu Picchu?
Yes.
Something that has just recently come up in my county as well is if it becomes unsafe in a country, what happens? And so I asked that with our tour consultant through EF, and they kind of tell you from the get-go, they're not going to send you to an unsafe place. So if something crazy happens in Peru between now and 2021, they will they'll send you to the most comparable tour they can find. So like if something blows up in the Dominican Republic in the next few weeks, we may not go there, but we'll go on another service trip to a very similar location. And so our students knew that from the beginning. They're not going to send us to an unsafe place because their service tours do kind of go to a little bit more of a developing region. So I know some parents might be worried about that, but EF's really good about, they won't just cancel your tour and refund you. They'll fix it as best they can.
Are there any other questions? I think I saw Lindsay, maybe.
Yeah, Rachel, could you share the videos that you had, the links through an email?
Yes, I will. Absolutely.
Thank you.
quad bedding?
Sorry.
I was just asking if it was 4 in a room sharing beds.
Courtney, what are they doing?
Yeah, for my tour, it's 3 to 4 in a room, depending on the hotel accommodations. Service trips may even be a little different. In our training tour this summer, we went to one of what they considered their most rustic location, and I walked in and I was like, "This is better than most of our 4-H camps," because it was very much a camp set up in bunk beds. So in that situation, it would be like 20 to a room, but it was bunk beds.
And when we're on site, the housing is a little different than obviously hotels. So I think that's what Courtney is talking about with that, with when we're on site for our service project. But then when we're traveling Machu Picchu, those types of things, it's more of a hotel situation. And they put adults to a room, or try to at least.
Rachel, I don't know if you saw Misty had a question if EF will cut off if we can't. We can go over, and there's really not a cutoff. So if there's way more kids that end up wanting to go, I know when we talked to our Rachel, I think talked to him, and he said he could get a second bus, so we would maybe go in a convoy. But they really want to work with us, and they see how closely 4-H and EF, their mission aligns. So I don't, correct me if you've heard something different, Rachel, but I don't think they would shut it down immediately.
So starting out this year, this is what we've been approved for to travel with 4-H. So we'll try to stay close to these numbers. But if there's something else, if there are just a ton of kids that are interested, then we can definitely look at that as that comes. But right now we're just doing 4 agent spots, 4 agents recruit 7 kids.
You mean you don't want to take 100 kids to Peru, Rachel?
That would be really cool. But let's start out small and strong. Are there any other questions?
Are we seeing the, is it the Naztec lines? They're south of Lima. The lines that are drawn in the earth that you can see from high in the air.
Let's see. On the travel itinerary, the tentative itinerary, Lima, the Sacred Valley, Machu Picchu, the service project close to the Sacred Valley of the Incas, Cuzco for the markets, and then the Sacsay Human Archaeological Site.
So it's all in Cusco, pretty much.
Have you been to Peru, Tyrone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Flying out of
Cincinnati. Flying out of Cincinnati, flying into Lima, flying out of Lima back to Cincinnati. Yes, Misty. Misty asked, so they sign up through an agent that gets to count them in their 7. Yes, that is correct. And we will do, once we get our agent selected, we will meet as a group and kind of go with our recruitment tactics and really help each other out and push out information from the state level and our district to recruit the kids from all over the state to participate. I think this is also a really great opportunity, not only a service project, a cultural project, but many of our young people are learning Spanish, so language acquisition. Courtney and I had to Google what they speak in Peru. So it's kind of a local dialect. There's Spanish, but there's also, I can't remember the name of it.
Quechua.
What?
Quechua, I think.
Is that right, Tyrone?
Yes, yeah. They bounce back and forth from Spanish to that native dialect.
So it'll be a great opportunity for kids who are studying Spanish to practice their Spanish speaking skills too, which I think is a really awesome experience. And I know Courtney has a young person who is really taken off and is using Duolingo and is really just immersing herself in this whole experience. So I think that is just a life skill for her that she'll have forever.
Yeah, she's competing with me on the Duolingo. We have all my kids that are going we have a class on Duolingo. It's a free app. And Marley, she's like, her Spanish teacher told her back in the fall, like, you have to stop. You're like 2 weeks ahead of everyone else. Take this class and just chill. Here, color, stop.
So we're excited to see some of those successes for more kids through the Kentucky 4-H program. Okay, are there any other questions? If you don't have questions and you think of one later, please feel free to contact me. Obviously, Courtney knows a lot as well. We're the co-coordinators of this trip. So anything that we can't answer, then we will get that answered for you all. So first, I'm going to say thank you so much for taking the time to join us. And I'm also so excited and hope that you all sign up. Applications are due to me by February 28th. And I hope to see lots and lots of applications. So thank you so much.